Most mid-market IT teams in 2026 are losing the same hire. The job description is some variant of AI engineer, platform engineer, automation engineer, MLOps engineer. The loaded cost is $180,000 to $280,000. The requeue has been open since Q1. The candidates with real production AI experience are already inside Anthropic, Microsoft, or one of the FAANG-adjacent AI labs. The ones on the open market are 6 months from being productive after they accept. Here is the math most CIOs have not done out loud. The cost of the marginal hire. A senior platform engineer at $200,000 loaded, that is $150 base, plus benefits, plus equipment, plus recruiter fee amortized, costs $16,700 per month in cash burn from the day they start. They produce roughly 0 net output for the first 8 weeks. Onboarding, context, code-based tour, security reviews, first PR landing. They produce maybe 50% of steady-state output for the next 16 weeks, still learning your domain, your customer shape, your incident history, your unwritten conventions. They hit steady state at month 6. So on a senior platform engineer hired in February 2026, the realistic Y1 math is about 8 months of equivalent output for $200,000. $25,000 per month of equivalent output. And that is if the hire works out. About 25 to 35% of senior IC hires at mid-market companies do not make it past month 9. Wrong cultural fit. Better external offer. Project misalignment. Account for the 30% failure rate, and your effective Y1 cost per month of equivalent output is closer to $36,000. What you are hiring them to do. Walk through what the new platform engineer is going to take on. At most engineering-led mid-market IT teams I have talked to, the unwritten job description is some mix of add the next 6 vendor formats to the invoice extractor. Wire up the audit, logging the general counsel keeps asking for. Build the per-tenant credential, scoping the security team flagged. Add SMS as a channel, because operations asked twice. On-call rotation for the existing pipelines. And the next AI initiative, the CIO, promised the board. That is the operational 20%. Items 1 through 5 are the operational hardening of what your existing team already built. Item 6 is what the engineer thought they were being hired for. What the engineer wants to do is item 6. What you need them to do is items 1 through 5. The mismatch is why senior platform engineers leave engineering-led mid-market IT teams after 18 months. They take a senior position at a company doing greenfield work. The other math, outsource the 20%. Here is the alternative most CIOs have not priced. Instead of hiring the marginal platform engineer, contract a specialist whose entire surface area is items 1 through 5. The going rate at the operations layer end of the market for engineering-led mid-market IT customers is roughly $125,000 Y1, which covers engagement fee plus first-year support, and $50,000 per year steady-state per pipeline. Compare across 4 years on a single pipeline. The marginal platform engineer at $200,000 per year times 4 years equals $800,000. Adjust for ramp time and the 30% attrition risk, and you get about 3.5 years of equivalent output for that $800,000. Output adjusted, $229,000 per year. The operations layer specialist at $125 Y1 plus 50 per year for 3 more years equals $275,000 across the same 4-year window. The specialist is already trained on the operational 20% shape, so you get 4 full years of equivalent output. Output adjusted, $69,000 per year. The specialist is 3.3 times cheaper per unit of equivalent output over a 4-year window. They also do not quit, get poached, or need to be onboarded into the next pipeline. When the math flips, I want to be honest about when the marginal platform engineer is the right hire. 3 scenarios. 1, you are running 5 or more pipelines in parallel. At that scale, an in-house specialist is cheaper than 5 separate specialist contracts. Per pipeline ops contracts have natural floor pricing. If you are past 5 pipelines and projecting 8 or more, hire the engineer. 2, the pipelines depend on proprietary domain logic that takes 6 or more months to learn. A specialist firm does not have your industry knowledge. If most of the work is encoding your particular regulatory or operational knowledge into the pipeline, the in-house hire makes sense. Most pipelines are not that. Most pipelines are 80% generic with 20% configuration. Be honest about which yours are. 3, the strategic narrative requires we built it ourselves. For board, acquirer, or customer reasons, sometimes the optics matter. If your customer is a Fortune 100 that audits your tech stack and wants to see in-house engineers on AI, that is a real reason. It is usually a less real reason than the CIO thinks. The Fortune 100 customer mostly wants the audit trail and the SOC 2 attestation, which the specialist can provide. If none of those 3 apply, the math is what the math is. The CFO conversation. The CFO is the unexpected ally on this argument. CFOs at $50 to $1 billion mid-market companies have spent the last 18 months watching their IT headcount budget grow faster than their revenue. They are hearing, we need to hire 3 more engineers. At every quarterly review, they have no easy way to push back. The CIO has the technical authority. The CFO does not. The argument that lands with the CFO is the table I showed you. Loaded cost per unit of equivalent output. 4-year comparison. Output adjusted dollars per year. CFOs read tables. They do not read pitches. Bring the table to the next FP&A review and say, we are going to hire 1 less engineer this year and redirect $200,000 of that budget to a specialist for the operational layer. Here is the math. Your CIO, peer at Pitt, Ohio, or any of the other dual-role CFO plus CIO companies probably already had this argument internally and arrived at this answer. The single-role CIOs are still hiring. What I am actually advocating, I am not advocating that you stop hiring engineers. Engineers are still the right hire for the 80% of work that is actual product development, vendor evaluation, domain logic, strategic technology choices. I am advocating that you hire 1 less of them and put that $200,000 per year budget into a specialist who runs the operational 20%. You will get more pipelines into production. Your existing engineers will stay longer. They get to work on the parts they want to work on. Your CFO will stop pushing back on every IT wreck, and your board will see the AI initiative slide actually move from in and pilot to now in production, which is the only thing the board really wanted in the first place. I run one of the specialist firms. That is my bias, but the math does not care who runs the specialist work. The math just says the math. If you want the full version of this argument, the essay is at jiego.ai/essays/stop-hiring-platform-engineers. It has the full version of both tables, plus the per scenario when it flips analysis. If you have a platform engineer rec open on your team right now, send me a message on LinkedIn with the word hiring. I will reply with the math sheet your CFO can take to the next FP&A review. Thanks for watching.